Here we go again then, we're back with the Adepts and we're going to start moving on from the humans now, not entirely, but we're going to start seeing a lot less of them, start bringing in some of the aliens, start off with the Asari Adept. She's a classic really. I think there was a time in Mass Effect multiplayer where everybody played this character. Not a massive fan of this class, but it is still it's still very viable and it is effective. You can see why plenty of people played it. There's obviously with all the new crazy explosions and weapons now. There's a ton of ways to play it, and a lot of them focus on warp. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to stick with the good old classic stasis build. With stasis, you're obviously just going to sort of lock an enemy in place and then you're going to pop some shots in them, and that's pretty much how we're going to rinse and repeat the game. You've got warp and throw as well, great powers. They're going to help us do some bombs on those armoured targets, because you can't stasis them unfortunately. And but she's going to be a very weapons orientated adept actually, so let's take a look at that. For stasis, this is how I recommend to build it. I'm going to go with stasis strength, so that enemies in stasis take 150% more damage, so that's always good. I'm going to recommend recharge speed after that. Like I said, I do not trust luck. It abandoned me a long time ago, I think, so I'm gonna stick with recharge speed. I know I'm always going to get 35% recharge speed with that. You can go with bonus power, and if it works out for you, it's going to be fantastic, but if it doesn't, then you're screwed really, because then you've just got a really long stasis cooldown. You can obviously detonate after stasis. Stasis does prime as well as just sort of keep the enemy in place. So if you've got a throw in, you're going to get a biotic explosion. You'll see me do that a couple of times this game, but I'm mainly going to just sort of pop the head off the enemy once they're trapped in stasis. It'll normally be the enemies that stray in after the one I initially killed that are going to get bombed, and the reason I can do that is because I'm going to pick Bubble for the final evolution, because this leaves like an orb on the battlefield that if any enemy strays into it, they become stasised. For warp, you know how I like to build warp. I'm going for detonate, expose, and I am taking Pierce this time. Okay, it's going to really help me with the armored targets. Throw is going to be really helpful for I take radius with throw, just so that you know, I'm really going to kind of guarantee the hit. You can spam throw. It's a really great detonator. You can just keep it's like concussive shot for biotics. Really, you can just keep lobbing that at the enemy and just keep them off their feet. But most importantly, it's going to get you your detonations quite nicely. So that's why I'm going to get radius, just to make sure I'm always on contact, because that force throw's not strong enough to worry about the force and stuff, so stick with radius just so you can get it to connect. And then I'm going to go with detonate, so that I got that 50% bonus to the damage and force of the biotic detonation, because that's what it's all going to be about. I'm just going to warp boss enemies and then throw them. For Asari Justicar, I'm going to go with weapon damage and then power damage. Because basically stasis doesn't do any damage really. It's just going to weaken and hold still the enemy for me, and biotic explosions do not benefit from power damage bonuses. So you know, my powers aren't doing a lot of damage. I'm literally relying on explosions and weapon power. So I'm just going to go with the weapon damage for the first rank and ignore the capacity, although it would help me at the moment. But and I've built this thinking in the long run, and it's turning to be a very long run, I'm not going to lie to you. And then I'm going to go with power damage, just because, you know, I am still warping and throwing despite really only kind of thinking about the detonation. They are still going to hit the enemy, so it's nice that they hurt. Headshot damage you could absolutely take that. It's just you know, I don't rely too much on headshot damage with most characters, just because I know I'm not a robot. You know, I'm not always going to get the headshot, so I feel I will benefit more from the power damage. Of course, if you're a guru, you can just go for headshot damage and just wreck up the place. And I'm going to get durability in fitness because much like the humans, the Asaris are squishy as hell. She's quite hard to keep alive, and stasis is going to be very important to you. We've got 700 health and barriers. And the weapon I'm going to be using is the Paladin. This would be so much more awesome if I had it at level 10. But mine's level 4, so I've got a 100 recharge bonus. So I'm actually going to struggle to get my stasis and stuff out, because stasis does have a long cooldown, unfortunately. So I'm going to have quite a bit of lag with it, and I'm actually going to pick the power efficiency later, just so that I can really flow, so the gameplay can flow really. But I'll get into the equipment in a second. I'm going to take the Paladin, so my nice little pocket sniper rifle. It really is great damage. As I said before with the Vanguard video, you really do want the magazine upgrade with the Paladin. It's got 3 shots, otherwise it's not enough to deal with the horde mode situation. You're just going to be constantly loading that gun. You put a mag upgrade on there, at least you've got 6 shots then. And then I'm going to recommend the heavy barrel. Fortunately, it's not DLC, so I'm not going to get any extra weight from that. Obviously, if you're very much like me, you can take your Carnifex, and it's very meh, the Carnifex. I mean, I used to love this gun, I really did, but now there's just so much cool stuff out now, and I've got my hands on so much of it. I really can't deal with how long it takes me to kill stuff with a Carnifex. So I'm gonna risk going with my my very low level Paladin. That's all I'm really going to recommend pistol wise, because what we are aiming for here is we want sort of heavy damage. We want to send bullets out that hurt, and but we want to stay really light at the same time. So you could take an SMG, but you will want an SMG with range on it. So like the Collector SMG, you can shoot with some good range. And the Locust, actually, the Locust has got a really nice headshot multiplier, and that's really accurate as well. So you could go with the Locust, but I'm going to recommend that you don't go with sort of damage over time, and really focus on sort of like high peaks of damage with your bullets. So sniper, you can snipe with this character, you really can. It's a lot of people did in the day. Something like the Valiant would be great. Valiant operates very much like a pistol, but of course this gets a bit heavier, so you're going to be unable to stasis as frequent as I would recommend. But yeah, you got choices. You can go Valiant, and Black Widow's great as well. But I'm going to stick with a pistol. I'm going to go with a Paladin. This is a pretty old school build. For the equipment though, I'm going to recommend warp ammo, because obviously we're going to be putting stuff in stasis and warping the bosses, so they're all going to be primed for detonations, and warp's going to do some nice damage to it. The other ammo I'd recommend if you are low on that stuff is the fire ammo, the incendiary rounds, so you can get fire explosions, mix them in, and obviously with the enemies you got frozen in your stasis are going to take damage over time when they're on fire and stuff. So that's all good. There's also, you can use armor and drill rounds too. That help you chew through armor. For your armor bonus though, I would recommend a cyclonic modulator. I absolutely would. She is squishy. She's got crowd control is limited too, so yeah, you kind of want to take out your 3 and 4 cyclonic modulator for survivability. However, because I'm carrying this stupid level 4 Paladin, I'm actually going to take a power efficiency into this game so that I can use stasis a lot, because stasis is going to be very important in your survival actually. Although because you can we're keeping our distance a lot with this character, shield power cells is good, because we're not going to be in a situation where we're going to take a lot of aggro, so we can really benefit off just having a shield recharge when we're not getting shot and stuff. And there's power, and obviously said I'm going to use power efficiency, but you can use power efficiency too if you wanted to. And for the gear, I'm going to take the commando package again. It's it's right there, and it's biotic and pistol damage boost. And other than that, I'd probably just recommend like the amp for the gun you're using, like the pistol amp. You know, it's all, like I said, she's very weapon orientated, and you know, obviously a weapon bonus is going to be the rail amp to match. I'm going to be playing off host in this game. It's going to be very laggy, but we'll jump into that now and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Right, so here I am off host. I'm actually playing with two of Dom's friends, Apple Juice and Jab here. I've never played with the guys before. Dom seems to know him. He's been bitching at me recently because I've been working on these videos, and that means I've been playing less Mass Effect. So yeah, I jumped into a game with him and his buddies, and then I decided to just go ahead and record this gameplay. Little did I know at the time that this was going to be really laggy. Actually, this is not a good host for me. I'm UK, so I can't say I've met a lot of other UK players. So I frequently kind of suffer with playing with overseas and getting quite a lot of lag. But I'm going to manage just fine. If anything, it's going to be sort of, you know, proving my point that this character still works really well. We're doing Dagger without the hazard this time. Everyone's getting rid of their missile launchers, so I'm going to join in and be cool. You want to know how to do that? Right, it said basically if you switch to your missile, if you hold X then to switch back to your weapon, during that animation that triggers after that, that's when you do your heavy melee. The heavy melee is going to cancel everything, and you're just going to end up with an invisible missile launcher. Doesn't affect gameplay at all. It's not like a rocket missile glitch or anything like that. It just literally it's a graphical glitch. Your missile launcher's invisible. It's still on your back technically. You just can't see it. It's because you just had one animation override the other. Alright, so here we go. You're going to see a lot of me sort of shooting enemies, and they're either not going to take damage or they're going to die after I've finished shooting them. It's a weird old game, but I decided to use this gameplay anyway because I pretty much I get in everything I wanted to show you with this on how to play it. As you can see, just any enemy with shields, and even if you just got the barriered enemies as well, I'm just going to get them in stasis. They're going to be stuck, and then I'm going to just shoot them in the head with the paladin. Rinse and repeat. Stasis bubble is basically all your crowd control. Because basically you put the bubble out, and then hopefully you're going to have the... Normally enemies travel around in packs, and they'll quite likely stroll into the stasis as well, and then you can actually normally shoot one to death, and then your power will be recharged, and then you can actually throw in there and get a biotic explosion, and then you can just sort of stream damage out there. So that's there is a nice flow to it, and this is why I had to take the power efficiency really, because stasis really does have a long recharge speed, and obviously with my paladin being so heavy, it's not the way I like to play the character. It's the reason I don't snipe with her. It's just I really wanted to get my stasis out, because I don't like to keep sniper distance, what people might call sniper distance, where you're like on the other side of the map killing enemies. I always play like with my squishy characters, I'll be pistol range, you know, a sort of mid range, and I just like I like the action, you know me. I like it fast paced, which is why I'm not a huge fan of this character. She's quite slow paced if you play her this way. And the reason I don't play her like another way, where you you get in close with like shotguns and assault rifles and stuff, and use warp a lot, is simply due to the fact that there's other characters in the game that I can do that with. Her, like I preached with the human engineer, this is her niche. She's a stasis character. So if I'm going to play her, I'm going to stasis stuff. That's me. But there's proof of how little I actually play this character. To be honest, I just threw a stasis at a Bwnci. I did mean to warp her, because this is how I take care of the boss enemies. I hit them with warp, and I'll shoot them with my warp ammo, and then once my power's recharged, I'll get throw in there. This is why I recommend having warp and throw, of course, because then you can basically, once you've got the biotic detonation with throw, throw's recharge speed is incredibly small, so then I can actually just warp again straight after, so that, you know, that's putting some really good damage out there. But like I said during the build section of the video, obviously biotic explosions do not benefit from power damage bonuses. No explosion does, okay, so you need to take that in consideration with a lot of these power classes. Fortunately, we've got a very Asari heavy team. We've got one Phoenix Adept playing with us. I think he's still working on his best of the best banner. I've got that, by the way, just in case you're wondering, and I'm just too cool to wear it. No, actually, I got sick of seeing it, because a lot of people I play with have unlocked the best of the best banner too now, and just going into lobbies full of pastel got kind of old, and the operator has always been my favourite banner, to be honest. I wear that most of the time. Although when I played this game, I discovered that the Heartbreaker weekend challenge actually gave us a new banner, and I really like that. I'm going to start wearing the Heartbreaker for a while, I think. But anyway, I keep doing that. I lose focus. I'm always struggling to try and get the facts in and try and fill the this video with commentary. I don't want to be just sitting here silently watching the video with you. I'm trying to give you something, but no, because of all the other Asari, I'm obviously my warps and my stasises are obviously going to get detonated by the other guys too, so they're going to be throwing reeves and stuff. I think one's a Justicar. I can't remember what Dom's the Vanguard. That's right. Dom's the Asari Vanguard. That was annoying. Did you see that? Tried to stasis the cannibal, and my stasis decided to go for the swarmer behind him, so the cannibal just gunned me down. Then it was quite annoying. But yeah, that's squishy as hell. I'm a Asari with no shield bonuses. I've just got durability. So pretty much any firepower I take is pretty much going to take me out. But that's the good thing. I mean, it's not amazing crowd control, but it is crowd control stasis. So my stasis bubble is going to keep a lot of the enemy fire off me, and obviously I can keep a nice distance and not have to worry about getting too much aggro. If you look at that, see that collection of enemies there? That's why it's not a bad idea to nuke a spawn on wave 5. Wave 5's quite a tricky wave, especially on Platinum. Yeah, you probably do want to nuke wave 5 and not nuke wave 7, to be honest. See, there's a caster character with a Harrier. I spoke of them. They're all over the place. But yeah, see my little pocket sniper rifle here. I am able to just sort of hold up top here and snipe. I've got a lot of versatility. She does have. There is a method for taking care of every enemy in this game with this character, so I can do that. See there, I shot up the first enemy and then his mate just strutted in, so I took him out. See, I'm struggling to connect with the enemy quite a lot in this gameplay, but I hope you can still see how effective she actually is, though. And you see my powers go all over the place as well. Which is also another good reason for radius. I mean, obviously you can take force and throw. I mean, radius is not necessary because it's so fast. Even if you did miss, you could just throw again. But I just like to make sure, I take the risk. Make sure I connect. Failed to take him out, but off you go, mate. Off the mat with him. See, now when you want to revive your teammates, you were very fortunate to get away with that, but you should never just sort of be out in the open like that. You want to either make sure the area is clear, or you want to find yourself some really good cover in order to pick up your teammates. Otherwise, you're going to be locked in the dominoes effect. It's a very trolley place to be. This is like one of the worst escorts on this map. It goes right through the centre courtyard, but we're quite fortunate to get on wave 6 of Reapers, which has no Banshees. You're just dealing with brutes for the most part. Well, they pretty much are just dealing with brutes. You got some Ravengers in the back, but it's only the brutes that are really going to try and stop you in your mission. So we're not going to have any trouble really. Phoenix Adept, or the Ex-Service Adept, whatever you want to refer to him as. The game still just calls him the Human Adept, which can be really confusing. We got so I can't get my head around. We've got like one Geth soldier, and they call him the Geth Trooper, and yet we've got like 3 Human Adepts, and they call them all the Human Adept. You know, they should have called them the Phoenix Adept at least. If anybody deserves a different title, it's those characters. I really don't get why. I really don't like it either. It's only a little niggly thing. It's not like ruining my experience of the game at all. But I always kind of really dislike the fact that we've got a Batarian Brawler Vanguard. Why isn't he just the Batarian Vanguard? It's not. You can't confuse him with the other Batarian Vanguard. He doesn't exist. There you go. There you go. As you can see now, my missiles are invisible. Well, my missile launcher is invisible. My missiles are quite very visible, as you will see. Boom. I'm getting gooed up here, so I'm going to eat an ops pack. This is annoying as well. I'm going to try and kick cover, and Lag's just going to send far too much information. I'm going to just slide right over, so I'm going to have to quickly slip into the box. It's going to cost me another op pack. Because it was taking me so long to go into the running animation that I was literally just sort of hitting the A button constantly, and then it all caught up with me and made me like slide my ass over the cover I was trying to get into. Well, so it goes. Lag does not mean it's the end of your game. It just changes it a bit. As I said before, though, in my engineer video, obviously, as I'm off-host, I'm taking less damage. The enemy struggling to connect with me is nearly as much as I'm struggling to connect with them. Nah, we're probably the connection, you know, damage-wise, is pretty equal for us here. The only thing that is really screwing me over is the delay in what I'm doing. It's like all the basically the delay in the feedback of what I'm doing. It's like I think it's here now. I'm going to shoot this husk, and about a couple of seconds later he'll die. Not instant. Not all characters in the game. This is going to be a fail rocket. They did not go there. They still went on the other side, which surprised me. I'm sure we had team members over there. I didn't expect them to do it. Not all characters in the game can get rid of the missile launcher that way. Some people's heavy melees just don't cut it. The Krogan, for instance, can't do it. I don't think Quarians can do it either. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember which ones can and can't, but there is a way for all of the characters to do it, and that's basically, rather than use a heavy melee to cancel the switch animation, you can just jump on a ladder. So if you like to take out your rockets, do the switch by holding X to your weapon again, but then as that happens, walk to a ladder. That ladder climbing animation then will actually make your missiles go invisible. So that's how you can get that funny little missile launcher off the back of your Krogan. Although I'm going to have a much more useful trick for you in this gameplay, which is one of the main reasons why I decided to keep it. I told you before about some of the ideal characters for the object carrying mission. A lot of people like to, on the forums, I've noticed, like to call it the pizza delivery mission, and I can see where they're coming from. Yeah, so the pizza delivery mission, Asaris are really good for it. I mean, those PC guys can actually, any character in the game can just run with the objective. It's like the mission doesn't exist for them. But then their shockwave's broken. Haha. No, but we're lumped with this slow one. So it's when we got a few tricks and stuff. It's nice, and the Asari's one of the few tricks, and you will see it. I think it's the wave 10. I'd probably say the absolute best character for that mission, though, is going to be the Krogan. They just, like a boss, they get it from A to B. Obviously, I'm getting a lot of aggro from the Ravengers. They got a better shot on me, so I'm going to change my position. Just come up here, start taking them out. This is why it helps to be flexible in the way you play. It's like you know, you got to be able to analyze your situation. It's like it's from the angle I had with the Ravager sort of splash damage on his explosive, like whatever thing he shoots. He's got an advantage over me in that little gunfight we were having. So I changed it up. I moved, got into a better position. I'm just going to get grabbed. And we're going to free him. That's what I was talking about before as well. You can obviously wriggle your teammates free with by breaking the force barrier for that particular enemy. If you can stagger that enemy, they're going to let go. Here we go. Communicate with your team. It's like I saw him bring out his rockets and mine were already out, and I was like, don't worry man, I got this. So he doesn't waste his rockets, you know. It's quite annoying when you both fire for the same rocket spawn, so you know, communicate. Call out what spawns you're going to take out and stuff, save people their equipment. I'm going to come up here, but make sure the path's clear for the object to be carried. He's going to take his rockets out again, I think. I'm going to say, don't worry, man, we got this. We got them. So one's going to go down. Now this next objective is going to be mine, and I'm going to show you how to do it within Asari. I'm going to also teach Apple Juice at the same time, because he didn't know. He's coming with to watch. Right, they're going to grab it. The Asari backwards dodge. Once you do the back dodge, it puts you in range to still grab the objective again. So then you can literally, without having to worry about, you don't have to do backwards dodge, pick up backwards dodge. If you just keep doing her back dodge, you will automatically grab it because BioWare assigned everything to the A button. So it's about time we put that to our advantage. Obviously I had two Bwncis slip behind me there. Dom in his spectator mode called it out. So I just dropped the package, got out of dodge. And then I took the aggro off the Bwncis, and Apple Juice was able to finish off the mission. But you saw how quickly I got that across the courtyard then. It's a damn sight faster than walking or meleeing, little meleeing with it. Little that you see me do with all the other characters. It's a boost, but it's nothing in comparison to what I had there. So now this is why I'm talking about getting a safer position. The brute comes behind me, so I'm going to slip here, got the cover. I'm going to get that then, and then I'm just going to bomb the Marauder. It's like you don't want to be at risk of dying to pick up your teammate ever. You know, if you got a risk of dying, don't do it. You know, you need to take away that risk, because one man down is not as bad as two men down. Okay, because then you're going to just if it all gets too much, eventually you're all going to have to start using gels and stuff. So you've got to be smart. I have to say, I do love the Bwncis when there's loads of lag. There's not loads of it here, it's just enough to be annoying. But so I've been in very lucky games, and when the Banshee's teleporting around, when that's on the road, it actually looks really scary. She covers so much ground so fast, and it appears so random. It's if that was her normal way of operating, I swear to God, she'd be a much more fearsome enemy. Right now, she's just she's a joke and or cheap. You know, the only way the Banshee ever kills you is normally because she came for war or something. The mighty have fallen. There was a time where like the Reapers were like what everyone considered the hardest faction, but they were due an upgrade, and I think BioWare thought because we got collectors that the Reapers had been covered. But you know, the only time you're going to ever fight Reapers and collectors at the same time is if you do platinum collectors. So it was kind of disappointing that I didn't get anything new. They need some new tricks. Everyone knows how to beat the Reapers now, and it's just so much. We've just got so much at our disposal now. It's really easy to deal with Reapers nowadays, especially when they made fire and cryo explosion so readily available. Who knows what's going on in the future? I am aware there is another DLC coming. That is why I started the series. I think I'm kind of hoping to get all my builds out in time so that I can just jump straight into the new content. But who knows if it's the last? I think it is, to be honest. I'm surprised we got this. We're getting another one, to be honest. But there was a Twitter message of them having the last Mass Effect 3 meeting. That was mainly revolving around the single player, of course. But it's they've got to move on, haven't they? This game's like over a year old. It's crazy. It's I think it's blown everyone's expectations out the window there. Well done, BioWare. You did a good job here. But there's the scores, and I'll catch you next time, guys.
Step on just a little bit longer. Please, 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 please tell me that you're gonna. Now your daddy don't mind.